Hey friends, how are you? Hi Bougie Gang, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Uh-oh, is that a member milestone? Happy birthday to me. Ooh, 51 and loving it. Okay, Miss Sagittarius vibes. Absolutely. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's awesome. I feel like my birthday was so long ago, but I don't know. It's just comes too fast and it leaves even faster. But guys, take a minute and wish our good sis a happy birthday if you would. Keonce, what's going on, boo? Go bougie, or go home. What? Okay, I'm gonna just say period on that. Thank you. Okay. That's serious. She said go bougie or go home. Okay. You guys, I just dropped a video earlier. I should drop the link to it in case you hadn't watched it. It's some follow up. And then, of course, y'all get into the comments and ask like a ton more really good questions. And I'm gonna just tell you this. I sent out a couple of emails. I sent another request today, all with Sakiyna's name all over it, okay, to see if I can get some more information. Because, sometimes you got to ask, you know what I mean? Like you ask for something and then you get what you ask for. But then it's like, well, I didn't know I should ask for that. Or, oh, I forgot to ask for that. So I went back and asked for more. And then I sent a couple of emails asking some questions because I saw somebody is doing a interview. And I said, ooh, well, it's worth a shot to ask some questions and see if I can get some answers because there's some questions I just don't know the answer to. Had I known what I know now, oh my god, I wish I could have been there for that. And it's really unfortunate. Someone asked me a question. We're still talking about Sakiyna right now. Sakiyna Thompson and the Kayla Hodgson murder. Um, like someone asked, can we get the footage from Law and Crime? I was like, I don't know about we. I'm not calling Law and Crime for nothing. I would think that when they get over, I don't even know how many views they've gotten on what they did post, but with what they did get, if they didn't know that if they had the trial, it would be posted. You know what I mean? I don't think they have it. They weren't there. Had they been there, we would have watched it 2 months ago, like you know what I mean? Like all the other, and I'm going to just say it, boring ass trials that they put on. Like there's actually some, and I don't want to say because it's juicy because this family was really got taken through it and they lost a precious family member. But Law and Crime, whoever is picking what's on the docket for them to televise are not up to date and current on trending stories. They're just, I don't know what they're doing over there. But some of that stuff, it is interesting, especially if you like watching court proceedings. Um, for some people, it doesn't matter what the topic is, it's still going to be boring. But there are some cases that are just downright juicy, right? And they missed out because it was an interesting case. It was somewhat of a murder mystery because they had to track ma'am down. And this was like some young people living their lives, having fun, going to clubs, wearing wearing nice clothes, doing fun things, very much like Instagram, TikTok. This was like something current that would have been very interesting to have been able to share, and would have had a lot of interest. And girl, they didn't, I don't even think they knew about it. They didn't know about it until I think it became a trending story online. And then, they were there for the sentencing. But shoot, if they had it, they would have broadcasted that mug by now. They don't have it. I'm not saying they can't get it. I'm just saying they weren't there. They were there for the sentencing. Portia. It's been quiet all morning. It's been quiet all morning, and then now all of a sudden, ma'am wants to pipe up. So that's the question to that. I answered the question in the comments, but I thought it was a good question. But it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, see, I can't do magic now. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Wishing everyone happy bougie days. Okay, bougie days. Okay. Bougie holidays. Okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much. Um, I always like to say happy holidays. Let's see. I've been wondering that if Sakina girl had any family in the court for her. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If they were there, they ducked in and ducked out. I mean, Kayla's family was present and, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to say what I think I know, but from what was said in court, remember Kayla's cousin Melanie, who said like nobody was there, and also Kayla's brother, her younger brother, who spoke with mom and said something. He basically dragged her about like there being no support there. And then Melanie John said a few things, and like I don't, if anybody was there, they were not there in huge numbers. It looked like Kayla's family took over their whole, like the victim side of the courtroom along with the other side of the court, because when it was like when Donna Adelson and Harvey said he wanted to make sure 2 rows were empty, and baby, 2 rows were empty. Okay, it was him by himself. His own daughter didn't even come and sit with him after she testified. Okay, and we know why Wendy didn't. So we're not going to get into that topic right now. We know why Wendy didn't, but Harvey wanted to reserve 2 rows, and they reserved 2 rows and nobody sat in them. And it was very obvious that Harvey was sitting by himself the whole time. So it was on some Donna Adelson. Like, she had her husband, everyone else is in jail or going to jail or doesn't speak to them. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. The one son is disgusted, the other son's in jail, and the other one's trying to stay out of jail, the other daughter. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have anybody. So, I mean, I think that's what happens, unfortunately, to women in prison, which she wasn't in prison yet. She was just in jail. But um, I don't think any of her people were in Florida. And if they are, they're probably more in South Florida. I don't know where her people are. Maybe some in New York. If you ever went to Sakina's Instagram or TikTok, I think she had some family in the UK. She obviously had family in Jamaica, but I don't know who, you know what I mean? Sometimes people still live in Jamaica. Sometimes they're living in the UK. I think Jamaicans have dual citizenship with the UK. So her people might be in the UK. Okay. So who's coming for that? And she's already admitted that she did it. So would it be better to try to do an Airbnb for weeks and weeks to support her, to just to be there, or to be able to have, spend 5, 6, $10,000? I don't know what it costs to fly abroad. So if you're in the UK or Jamaica, to come here to have a house or a hotel for a series of weeks, pay for food, all of the things, that's thousands of dollars, and it's not vacation. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, we can put money on your books. So which one? Pick your poison. You want to see me in the audience, or you want some money in your account? Which one? Nobody told you to go. I'm sorry. If that was one of my sisters, I would be talking shit every day. Nobody told you to go put your hands on anybody. Nobody told you to go to somebody's house in the middle of the night. Nobody told you to keep getting back together with Boo, Monsieur Thierry. Nobody told you to keep seeing Monsieur Thierry at all. You should have left him alone when you had a chance to. You should have got out before you got pregnant. That's another question a lot of you guys ask. I don't know. I've been trying. I've been using my best investigative nosy skills to see how I can find a live birth recording, like the recording of a live birth in February of 2023. From what I understand, if you are pregnant in Broward County, let me say hi to the gangsters. My bad, y'all. Look at me. So rude. Aquarius Bay, what's up, sis? Nesto's handy girl. Hey, boo. Irie, hi, baby. How are you? Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you for getting here first. Okay. Serenity Siren, being about the business. Okay, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very much appreciated that you tapped in. Another question that you guys ask is what happened to the baby? Okay, you guys remember. If you don't remember, if you don't know, it's fine. There was a filing on the docket regarding breast milk. Does anybody remember that? The breast milk motion? Um, she had the baby because why would she be pumping breast milk? And they gave Terry a special, he was able to come to the jail. Let me see how they put it. Girl, the breast milk, the order granting defendant's motion. There was a motion. Let me see if I can find the motion. Hearing held for motion of indigency. It was the breast milk, letter from the breast milk, defense motion for reconsideration of bond. Was that in the reconsideration of bond? There was a motion that was filed that basically stated, ma'am needed to be able to provide breast milk for her baby, and she was able to go to the nurse's office, pump, and Mr. Terry Thermogen was able to come and pick up the breast milk. So he had to have been in Florida for a period of time. What that period of time was, I do not know. There's very little details regarding Monsieur Terry. Okay. Um, okay, let me read you guys. I wasn't going to make this like a Sakiyna Thompson live, but if you guys will, what I also want to talk about is the post, the Nesto post that I put up last week. You guys put up like 19 answers. I feel like that's adequate to be able to read all of those on the ever burning, everlasting question of old girl called old girl in California and told her everything. Who in the world is that, right? I guess we're going to get into it today. So someone asked, okay, let's just talk about this real quick. We're not going to be all up in this for a long time, but let's just answer this question. I do have something interesting I do want to get into, but we're not going to do it today. It's the notes from the trial and who was there, who wasn't there. Like, if you want to know, like, exactly who testified and who did not testify, I can tell you that because they had notes. So, okay. I read this in a live previously or in a video, and it says, this is dated 1/31/23. To your honorable Judge Casey. Judge Casey was not the judge who was the final judge. She's had a couple of judges. Keep in mind, she was in jail over 1,100 days. I think it was like 1,180 something days. Okay. Altogether as she left the building, right? To your honorable Judge Casey, I'm writing this letter to you in hopes of finding mercy from the court to allow me to give birth outside of the jail while also fighting my case. First of all, judges rarely read letters from defendants unless they're pro se, and she was not pro se. So the clerk probably just filed this, and I'm sure the judge probably never saw it. Okay. To your honorable Judge Casey, I'm writing this letter to you in hopes of finding mercy from the court to allow me to give birth outside of jail while also fighting my case. Please have mercy for me, being that I am a first time mother and have no priors, ever been in trouble before, and I am terrified of going into labor while incarcerated because this facility is not properly suitable to accommodate a pregnant woman. I have been incarcerated I have been incarcerated August 3rd of 2022 when I was 11 weeks and due February 17th, 2023. Spending my entire pregnancy locked up have been stressful. I have a stable place as well as family to vouch for me. I am asking you for the opportunity to mother my newborn baby while I fight for my innocence. Please take everything that I have said into consideration while making a decision on whether I may be released on bond, pretrial, monitor. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter. Girl, they have all kinds of surveillance video on you, all of those things. Girl, do you think that they were going to let you out for that? Okay. So let's see. So no. Okay, that ended up being a no. But prior to that, hold on. So I wonder, did she file this herself? Hold on. It looks like her handwriting. So at this moment, okay, so yeah, maybe he did read it. It's possible because look, check this out. She actually was pro se for a minute. She's getting to be more like Sarah Boone every day. So here she is. Here's like a blanket kind of template, and it's a motion for reconsideration of bond. Maybe there was a time where she was pro se, because we're not going to read the whole thing because it looks like a template, but and she didn't even sign it. And then she didn't even sign it. So girl, that just probably just got filed for just to be for filing purposes, and it said defendant pro se whatever. That clearly didn't go anywhere, but somehow, let me right here. Somehow there was this that ended up getting filed. What it was, I don't know. Because I was trying to find the corresponding information for the breast milk, but here we go. This is the only thing where I find Terry's name, other than like one or two other places, where it says unopposed order granting motion for breast milk. Okay. And that was on 3/7/23. Judge Henning at that point. Remember, it was Judge Casey a minute ago. Now it's Judge Henning. Unopposed order granting motion for breast milk. This cause came before the court upon the defendant's motion for breast milk and being fully advised in the premise. It is ordered and adjudged that said motion is granted. Terry Thurmagen, the daddy, okay, Terry Thurmagen shall be granted permission to pick up Sakiyna Thompson's breast milk at the Paul Rain Detention Facility, where she just left yesterday to go to the Florida Department of Corrections Welcome Facility. Miss Thompson recently gave birth. So anyone who wasn't sure whether she gave birth or not, this is signed by the circuit court judge, Miss Patty Eglander Henning, stating Miss Thompson recently gave birth and Mr. Thurmagen has custody of the child. Okay. I've been going through all these documents for y'all guys. Like, I'm trying to find the answers, and some of the answers are in here. They're in here, some of them, and some of them are not. But she did give birth. He currently has custody. Now, if it's his parents taking care of the baby, I don't know. As long as he's got custody, he's the father, auntie, mama, papa, whoever can take care of the baby. You know what I'm saying? So, but the father was allowed to pick up breast milk, and he was to pick it up from the detention facility, and they confirmed she gave birth. And Mr. Terry was the one who has custody, and it was done and ordered at Broward County on the 7th day of March of 2023. So hopefully that answers that question. Anybody who was wondering, did she have the baby? Did she not have the baby? They never mentioned the baby. She had the baby. The baby came. Okay. I wanted to make sure I clicked on everything. Okay. So the baby was there. Baby came. Where's the baby now? We have no idea. Was it a boy or a girl? I don't know. I was trying my best, using my best nosy skills to see if I could, when you do birth certificate searches, but I don't even know a name, which I don't know. Maybe she named the baby Thomspn. Maybe she named the baby Thompson. I don't know. I know you can pretty much name a child apples and oranges if you want to. Um, so if she gave the baby his name, that would have been easier considering you're sitting there locked up. That would have been so much easier for everybody. And they were not married, so his name wouldn't have been automatically on the birth certificate. So I don't know. I didn't think of looking up Thermogen, but maybe I'm gonna see. Because we know the baby came sometime in February of 2023, and they might have a specific hospital that they go to. I think on the website they said a name of a hospital, but I can't remember which one it was. But whatever is the close, probably county run hospital in the vicinity, they bring you there when you go into active labor, and you get like 24 hours with your baby, and that's it. That's what it said, 24 hours, and that's it. That's all. Um, I would think so too, Petty Patty, but I don't want to like lock in on something until I know for facts. You know what I mean? I would think because you're not available, it would be the best thing to give the baby the dad's name, especially if he's claiming the baby, and he's going to go put his name on the birth certificate. That would have been the easiest thing to do. But we know that there are people out here called chaos mongers. And considering she just was in Florida and killed his boo thing, you know what I'm saying? Like that would make sense for the baby, but when you are a chaos monger, do you always do things rational, decent, and in order to make things easy for people? Or do you do silly stuff because that's just you? So I don't know. I think rational women, that's what we would do. Um, but I don't know what she would do. You know what I mean? She might just want to make sure, oh yeah, it's Thompson. It's Thompson. Um, I don't know. She probably was thinking, I'm never gonna see this baby again, so I'm gonna name her Sakiyna Jr., like how Krishan Rock, Sakiyna, whatever her middle name is. Oh, I forgot what her middle name is. Let's see. Sakiyna, let's see what the middle name is. Sakiyna, girl. Sakiyna, oh, Tashe, Tashi, Tshee Jr. Okay. Thompson Thermogen. So, girl, who knows? You know what I mean? Like that would be a petty I just killed your boo thing type of thing to do. So I don't know. I mean, you spend your whole pregnancy in there, and then Terry gets to come pick up the baby and leave, and then you are in the infirmary pumping breast milk. You probably have to hand it to someone. No, you never, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, a mess. A mess. Okay. The hospital is Holy Cross Health if they didn't have any complications. I don't know where it said you had to do Florida vital statistics or something. Any of you guys, if you're in Broward, go on down to the health department and see what you can find, because it's probably easier doing that. Any of my little detective folks, you don't have to do it for me. Just do it for the sake of research. But yeah, there's only but so much I can do because I'm not in Florida, boo. You know. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna see what I can find out. I mean, we know the parents' names, so we don't know exactly the birthday. The due date was February 13th, according to that letter that she sent. And we know by March 7th, the baby had been born, according to the breast milk order. So sometime between February and the beginning of March, the baby was born. I live in Broward. I'll see what I can find out. Okay. You know what I'm saying, girl? Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. Terry Thermogen and Sakiyna Thee 2023, sometime in March or February or March. No, I was answering the question. The hospital she should have delivered at seeing that. Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we don't know that for sure, but that would probably be the most likely. Is that like a county state hospital, not a private hospital? Um But yeah, I think people also are into this story. They're pretty girls, Sakina, you know what I mean? She look how she look, but you know what I mean? They were Instagramming, they were living their life. They were, not too far off from what a lot of people are doing, getting their nails done, getting their hair done, going out, having fun, dating, all of the things. So I think and then it's still a question mark, like, why didn't Terry testify? I don't know. I don't know why he didn't testify. You know what I mean? I don't know why he didn't testify. We know that they never got into their phones. They tried a couple of combinations. Her best friend didn't know her number, her code, or she just was like, look, I'm getting ready to give you all this information. Us girlies already solved it. But you know what I'm saying? Kayla made me promise. Like, I'm not saying Janicia said that, but it might have been one of those, don't you ever give out this code. I don't care what. You know what I mean? It could have been on some, oh my God, I just remembered if they were having trouble. But to be honest, they didn't really need it, right? It would have been a nice to have, but they didn't really need it. Now, saying that, were they able to access Kayla's Instagram? Yes, they were able to access through the app, not pull her cloud down. You know what I mean? So would there have been lots of information, phone data, all of those things? Absolutely. But as far as the apps that mattered where she was interacting with people, Instagram was a big factor for both. Um, Lyft, Uber Eats, okay? Um You guys already know when Sakiyna was arrested and they went and arrested her in Queens, and the Prada bag that she had, crossbody, when they opened up the Prada bag, her plane ticket was in there. Her plane tickets were in her purse. You know what I'm saying? So they had her on surveillance everywhere. Um The thing that I thought about today that I thought was so interesting, because we know she didn't leave for like a day and a half after the murder. She went back to the hotel and chillaxed, I guess. It would be interesting to know what she was doing while she was at the hotel. Did she like just duck off into her room and not come out? Or was she going to the pool? Did she go shopping? Did she go out to dinner? Like, was she good after that? It would have been nice to see the surveillance of her after and pull all of that to see what the hell she was doing, and was she cool as a cucumber? Like, was she just, what was she doing? Anyway, but this was the thing I thought about today, was that I was watching a couple of videos from back then, over 3 years ago, and I'm thinking to myself, all this news coverage, I know you had to have been watching the news. You know how when someone is so diabolical. Like yesterday, I was listening to the is it Brian Walsh, the guy up there in Massachusetts who was doing all the searches and everything? Like, you just took that lady out of this world. They found her around the afternoon, and the news is blowing up that this happened in quiet Tamarack Village, and you're sitting there in the hotel watching all of this stuff happen. Meanwhile, your ass was all over that damn apartment complex with the damn Shake Shack bag looking suspect as hell. So that was just weird to me that she stuck around for so long. I'd have to go back to the report, but it's towards the end when they identified that she had stayed at like the Plaza Hotel, or she stayed at some, what was the hotel? That she had stayed at a hotel that was in close proximity. So when they picked her up in the lift outside of the apartment complex, and she was seen, there's an elementary school, I think like across the street or next door. You could see the lift coming, approaching, stopping, picking her up, and then taking off. And then it was later discovered that she was staying at a hotel, and she checked out like the following day or the day after that, and then went back to New York. Um, a mess. But if you listen to the interviews and how in close proximity, because Melanie, the one who read her for filth, she showed up, immediately. Revelto called his friend, who called Janicia. I think Janicia called Melanie, and they called Candace. Those are the two friends that worked with Kayla. And Melanie comes right over, and she's already telling the police, like, this. There's someone in New York, and blah, 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 and, giving a lot of information. Um, they were already identifying her, like, early in the evening. Her name had already been said. Not Revelto, obviously, because he didn't know all of that, but the friends, Janicia and Candace, because Janicia had looked up her location at 4:00 in the morning. I guess Kayla let her know she was leaving work, or she was checking to see if Kayla had left work. And she told Revelta, oh yeah, she was at 4:00. I saw she had left work. She was on her way home, something like that. And then she got there, and then they didn't really know what else happened. So, but the friends, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to say Broward didn't figure it out, because obviously they had to put everything together, and then the state's attorney had to put together a cohesive case. But as far as from the girlies and what good friends know about good friends, or people that you're dating know about you, they pretty much had that. They had enough information to start tracking Sakiyna pretty quick. You don't really hear them mentioning anybody else. Now, as far as the phones are concerned, if they opened up those phones, could there be something like, could this be like a case of, not to bleed two cases together, but like a Carlos and Quadeja, Holly in Chicago? Those two weirdos who killed Romika Blackman, specifically Quadeja, but Carlos was strange, you know what I'm saying? So we don't, I don't know. I would think that law enforcement has flushed out as much as they possibly could to feel good about not prosecuting him, but you never know who stays under investigation. There's no statute of limitations for murder. So if there were to ever be like some sort of information or smoking gun that would make them believe that, because look at Wendy Adelson again. It's been damn 10, 11 years since Dan Markel died, right? They just prosecuted her mother. So you never know. You never know how these things work out. I'm not saying that man is guilty. I don't know him. I don't know anything. It may have just been unfortunate bad decisions, and she did everything on her own by herself. So I'm certainly not accusing that man of anything. But you guys have asked questions, and some people feel like he should be held responsible because he created the situation. I don't know that I mean, yes, that's true, but Sakina created the situation for herself. She made just as much as he opted in to be a cheater, she opted in to be cheated on and to be dogged out. Like she clearly enjoyed something of that relationship and she let it get the best of her and came for somebody who was not coming for her. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Let's see. Okay, guys, let's pivot a little bit. We can talk about that another time. But yeah, lots of questions. And I did send out a couple of emails to see if I could get some answers to some questions. I don't know if I will or not. It is worth a try. Closed mouth does not get fed, right? And I did request um something else. And I requested a couple of things and I sent out a couple of emails asking a couple of questions. So we'll see. Yeah, it's what you can prove, right? Like they could have a hunch all they want. Like for instance, a similar, I don't want to say similar type story, but let's just say the story in Chicago with Quadesia Johnson. Um, could Carlos be a principal to the murder? Like, were they talking? Did they set this thing up? Did they have something in their mind? Have they been talking about it? Like, what the hell was really going on here? Um, Did they create a situation for it to become very hostile and over the top? This is a situation that happened in Chicago recently. I put a short up about it a couple of days ago. I just haven't been able I have the police narrative and I'm going to do a video on it. So, I just figured we would talk about some Nesto. I didn't know if you guys wanted to go to one of those ultimatum videos. I know we talked about it when we last met on Saturday, and then we still have the questions to read. So is anybody here for you guys want to listen to that ultimatum? I feel like I've listened to it a bunch of times, but is that what you guys wanted to? I almost feel like I want to let you guys choose. Or I can also talk to you about a couple of things. Um, Afeni Muhammad got bound over and her case is now with Macomb County. Is it 16th? Any of my Detroit, Michigan people? I think it's the 16th. So her case was bound over. Yes, it's the 16th Judicial Circuit. So she's out of East Point and now she's with the county and baby is on and popping. And girl, it's ma'am, it's her case is over there. Questions, please. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go. Let me pull this up. Girl. Because they had was she well, Macomb, that's where Deandre Booker is located. Let me tell you guys this. You guys, so a couple of people have asked me about Deandre Booker. Let me make a marker here. Okay. Couple of people have asked me about Deandre Booker. Let's talk about him for just a minute. Deandre, Ashley Elkins. I hate even thinking about. I mean, Ashley Elkins got done almost just about like Kayla did. Like, how do we know this? Because when they sprayed that chemical, the luminol or whatever they call it, the blood all over the bathroom. They don't know what he did to her, but they spent a lot of time at the landfills and all of those things. Anyway, long story short, he acted a complete fool in the late summer. It was like August, September. They had the preliminary hearing. Girl, he would not come out his cell. He was up in there screaming and hollering, acting crazy. Um Trying to maybe even prevent. But so what they did was, girl, they pushed a computer out to the front of his cell and turned it all the way up. And if he chose to not listen to it, because the judge was like, Mr. Booker, can you hear me? Mr. Booker, we're going to be proceeding without you. I've got your attorneys here and they've given permission for us to proceed. Are you willing to come out? And he, girl, he acted a complete ass. Okay. Anyway, they finally finished it. I think they had to have 3 different sessions. Then by the time they finished it, Deandre's lawyer asked for a transcript. And the judge was like, oh my, our court's really backed up. I mean, we might not have the transcript done till January. Mr. Booker, are you going to come out? Mr. Booker, we need you to be quiet, sir. You can come out, but we need you to behave, sir. And the guard, the sheriff's deputy was like, he's not listening. He's not being cooperative, sir. I'm going to turn the volume down. And all you hear is Deandre back. I don't want to come out. I'm not coming in. It was a mess. It was a mess. I did broadcast some of it, but baby, it was bananas. Okay. It was absolutely bananas. And like, God bless Ashley's mom, because that's another mom heartbroken and devastated for her daughter, her grandchildren. Ashley had 2 sons who are missing their mother. They were very close. It was mom and the kids, mom and the 2 boys, and tragedy, right? So has it been bound over yet? No, because Deandre acted a butt and they need to get a full transcription. And then the judge said that they were going to convene. I will look it up, but it's still with the district. It is not in the circuit yet. It's still with Bodecker, who is the judge. And it's over there in, don't tell me. Oh my God, girl, I am learning all about Michigan. Okay. Roseville, I think it was. It might be Roseville or something else, but it's Macomb County. Okay. And it's in Bodecker's court. What's her name? Afeni is over there. She was in East Point, and now she's actually with, Afeni's in East Point, but Deandre was in Roseville and something else. Anyway, but yeah, it has not been bound over yet as far as I know. I'll go look at the Warren. It's in Macomb County, but I'm not sure. I know his apartment was in Roseville. I'll have to look it up. So it has not, I don't believe it's been bound over yet, because they were going to have another court proceeding for him to give his decision. But how much, like, if any of you guys watched it, he was, the night that Ashley went missing, he was going back and forth from his apartment with garbage bags and went and got a shopping cart. I think there was either some kind of grocery store or I think it was a Target, but there was some sort of grocery store. He went and got a damn shopping cart from through the fence. You know how some places they'll have like a fence and people have cut their way through the fence? He went through the fence, got a shopping cart, and was going back and forth to the dumpster with the shopping cart and trash bags. What do you think that was all about? I mean, I hate to say it, but my God, it's awful. It's awful. And then he got his cousin. You guys got to watch the video. He got his cousin, who he never talks to, his like adopted foster cousin or something. And called her and said, hey, because he doesn't have a driver's license, girl. And said, can you come drive a car for me for a friend? So the girl comes over in an Uber. She drives the car to the apartment complex. She testified. She's like, "Oh yeah, he had me drive it to the Bright Horizons apartment like, I'm just saying a name. He had me drive it to that apartment complex." Yes. So where the car was found, how did it, do you know how that car got there? She's like, "Yeah, I drove it." Yeah. She was the girl who had like the very thick glasses. She had a very strong prescription for her glasses. Um, she was like, "Yeah. Yeah." He asked me, he said it was for a friend. And whatever the story was he told her, she didn't think anything of it. And she drove it and she said, "Yes, I drove it. I parked it. I whatever. I didn't know anything else. I don't know anything else about it." Like she was, you know how people will be used. Another situation where someone was used recently that bounced back on them too. Girl, so many stories. Um, Remember the person who came forward with Charla and Jalen Pendergrass? Charla had called one of her man friends over and asked him to help her move like a big Rubbermaid tote. It's almost like you can't help anybody do anything these days, or you got to ask them 25 questions, or else you might be testifying in court, especially if they are, not super duper ethical. Okay. But anyway, back to Deandre. Yeah, it hasn't been decided yet, but I can't imagine where he would not be bound over. I don't understand where he would not be bound over. Um, but yeah. Okay, let's pull up these questions. But what was the other thing? Afeni Muhammad she got bound over. We're still waiting on Deandre Booker. Sakiyna is in the welcome center. She's starting to do her life sentence. And let me pull up this question you guys asked me. If you guys want to call in, you can. Are there any other questions you guys have? Because we're going to get into this Nesto question. I put up some days ago. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, let me. All right. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Okay. Is that good? Oh, you guys can't see yet. Hold on. Okay. Oh, damn. All right, hold on. You know how it's like, okay, you were good for a second, then you tried to do just a little too much. Okay, let me see if I can get it back. I think I made it like way too big. Okay, there it is. Ooh. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay. Uh Okay, I think that's the best I can do without messing it up again. Okay. The question was, guys, number one, what time is it? It's almost 1 o'clock. Did everybody eat lunch already? Not that that's like the most pressing question, but it is bougie gang lunch hour. So, has everybody had a wonderful lunch? And don't be shy about dropping your lunches in the chat. You can do that if you like. Let me see. Okay. All right, let's see. So, old girl called old girl in California and told her everything. So, like 9-10 days ago, we were watching an episode. I don't even remember which episode it was, but it came up. Shay said it was it would be familiar because she played it as a clip once upon a time, and then she played the whole thing, and it was Lamont, and he was talking to Nesto and said, "Old girl called old girl in California and told her everything." I just never heard him call Shirley old girl, but who knows? Some people think it's Shirley. I do think it has something to do with Dominique. I don't know. I don't know. Could it be Erica King? Of course. Of course it could be, but we don't know. Erica King's not saying shit, right? As far as we know. Erica King could be here right now, but we don't know. We don't know that. Let's see. Smothered turkey wings, green beans. Okay, smothered turkey wings. Okay. 'Tis the season for turkey and gravy and all of the yummy things. I can't recall the victims from Cali. Girl, if you can, let me know because I don't know either. There are some in California, but the main ones, we always focus on the main ones from Atlanta. So who's in Cali? Girl, you got me. I'm not I'm not sure. Okay. Let's get into it. Holding Bazzano down said, so I guess we're doing a little addressing the comments, okay, which is one of my favorite things to do, which we have not done in forever. No, so this is what Holding Bazzano said. I don't know if Holding Bazzano down is here right now, but Holding Bazzano down says, I just know Dominique is involved because I remember the conversation about storage and Lamont's inability to reach her during the top of 2023. But the other girl could be the woman in California, be another lover, another victim looking for Nesto and his shady crew. I hope 2026 brings us answers. This will be interesting to discuss. Okay. Yeah, I think it definitely could be Dominique. All right, I'm going to drop the link, but let's try to get through most of this before we start taking some calls cuz I've already talked an hour if you can believe it. Can you believe it? We've already talked for a whole hour. Okay. Um all right. So holding Bazzano down. Excellent comment. Like I'm here for that, right? Um Friday Child says, I think old girl that got told everything is Dominique. Now, if you remember, Dominique, I think was in California. Hello? Do we remember that? There is a video. I can't even tell you when it was, but it's Nesto is sitting with that blouse on and it's him and Dre talking. It's not a phone calls from prison thumbnail. It's one that I posted. I'm sure they posted it too, but I'm just saying I remember my thumbnail specifically for this. Because I haven't used that picture often. And he's got that icy blue. He's got like some sort of blue blousey looking button down shirt. And I'd have to bubble it up. But it's a conversation with him and Dre. And Dre is like, you know who called me? Dominique. Da-da-da-da. You know, yeah, she said, you know, things ain't working out with her husband. And da 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 da. Like he's just going on. He's just basically running the gossip. Okay. Yes, a blouse. Okay. Yes, that's what I said. Um, and he said Dominique was in California casually, not revolving around a lie. So I think old girl that got told everything is Dominique. The caller could be Miss Jones. This has plagued me from the beginning. Okay. Reef and Muff's mom says, I agree. And Miss MJ says, agree. Okay. Dominique, the streets are talking, boo-boo. It could be Erica Kang to Monique. Would Erica have been out by then? Did Erica have a no contact though? If Erica had a no contact, that'd be bad for Dominique. That'd be bad for her because if she had a no contact order, I don't know, but I think old girl told old girl everything. I believe is Erica and Dominique. I think that's a very good possibility, right? We just know. I think what we feel like we know, or it's a good possibility, is that Dominique is in the mix somewhere, right? It's giving Dominique. It's yeah, because she was instrumental in the operation, and of course, so was Miss Jones, right? So was Lon. Okay, let me stop. Okay. Because we know people listen. Girl, I feel like I need to get a bottle of water. Can y'all excuse me for just a second? Let me get a bottle of water. Hold on. Look at somebody and tell them to believe our way. Anybody got a praise left? Go ahead, this is this is your time. Hallelujah. God's been good. God's been too good to me. God's been too good to me. Believe I shout. Believe I shout. Believe I shout. Believe I shout. He healed me. I'm back. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Dominic told somebody. Okay, did I skip something? Okay. Well, this will be good because I haven't give hearts to everybody. I think old girl is Erica and Dominique. Okay. If I put a heart on your comment, that means I read it. 8 days ago, I'm trying to remember the call where Sonia called someone in California and told Nesto you told her not to talk to me. And Nesto's response was, nah, I don't worry about shit like that. Girl, that's another one. Can I tell you? I don't know what call it was. We have been listening to calls for years, guys. If you're new here, we've been listening to Ernest Williams jail calls for damn years now. Okay. Um, something, I was minding my business in my bedroom and I have autoplay. So one thing plays and then something else just automatically starts, right? And it might start where you left off. All of a sudden I hear Sonia, I hear Sonia talking to Nesto. And this might have been a recent call that PCFP just played. And she clicks Lamont in before she even tells Nesto that Lamont is on the phone. Do you guys remember that? It might have been the last 2 weeks. Her messy ass. How are you? Sonia likes to play on the damn phone. That's the one thing I'm going to just say. This woman is too old to play on the phone as much as she does. So she was over there talking to Lamont. It was the call where I guess Nesto was talking to Shirley. Lamont called Nesto when he was on the phone with Shirley. Lamont's messy ass tells Sonia that Nesto's on the phone with Sonia. And then Nesto tries to get on the phone talking about maybe something with Lamont. And she's like, no, you were on the phone with your wife. And then Lamont called you and blah, da, 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 da. Basically like, nigga, I know, excuse my language, y'all, but that's just what it was giving. Very much giving ghetto. And get very much giving. You are too old for this foolishness. The man has a wife. Okay. And then you can hear she clicked Lamont wretched, messy behind in and didn't even say, she said, we have company. And Nesto, bless his heart, bless his little pointy head. I don't think he heard her or he didn't understand the reference. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, maybe he just didn't hear her. I don't know. He was talking. And of course she said something like, yeah, kind of thing. And he's just talking away. And then she finally, again, we have company. Lamont's on the phone. Oh, okay. Why are you clicking it? Like Lamont is not your friend. That's his friend. So she's very much suspect to me. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a plot line story twist that Lamont put Sonya on Nesto. Okay. Now I'm just throwing that out there. Don't ask me to substantiate it. I'm just talking. And we're just talking theories and whatever. But it was just so messy. It was like, for a second, it just made me think, like, who are you with in this situation? Like, you're acting weird. You don't do your man like that. I thought Nesto was your boy, right? Why are you connecting people and not even telling him as he's talking about them and lying? She's a dangerous person to know. I'm just saying. She's dangerous, okay? She's not somebody you want to have on your team. Not because she's dangerous. She's silly. She's silly and slow and stupid. Okay? She's the type of person that will get your ass sent to jail and then prison, probably. You know what I'm saying? That's her. She's just that type. You mess with someone like her, I'm talking about a friend, a boo thing, whatever, she's trouble. She's trouble. She is trouble. Anyway, that just came to my mind. I kept meaning to talk about. I'm so glad we're having this little conversation today. Okay. I think old girl, everything I believe is Erica and Dominique. Okay. I'm trying to remember the call where Sonia called someone in California. Okay, we did that one. Dominique told somebody, LOL. I want to say Melody S. Melody Scretchen is not in California. Melody Scretchen is the teacher in the Atlanta metro area. I don't think it's old girl called old girl. So Melody Scretchen, how would she know to call Dominique and because Dominique was in California? So maybe you're saying Melody Scretchen called Dominique, old girl called old girl in California. So the person was not in California. The person called someone in California. We know Dominique is in California. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Melody Scretchen, who is filing police reports. I don't know, but that's a good, I mean, we don't know, right? I don't know. Okay, my guess is first, old girl is Shirley Strawberry. So you think Lamont's calling Shirley, you think Lamont's calling Shirley old girl. And second is Dominique or the reverse. You think Shirley called Dominique and told her everything? I don't know. I'm going to just say Shirley doesn't seem like she's talking to no riffraff. And I'm sorry, Dominique, if you're in the bushes listening, I'm not calling you riffraff. I'm just saying Shirley's not talking to anybody. Shirley's not telling everybody her business. Shirley is not talking about no damn Nesto to nobody. Shirley is maintaining, I don't know them folks. Who is that? Who? No, I never sent that email. I don't know. No. No, that was not me. That's not my email address. I never sent that email. No, I never signed that contract. No, I never went there. No, I never lived there. No, I don't know those people. I never met them before. Like Shirley is on brand. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm with you on Dominique. I'm not too clear on Shirley because Shirley is the Mr. Clean out of the bunch. Shirley is Bennett and I'm not in it. Shirley is trying to maintain clean as a whistle. Shirley did talk to the police, but that was after Sheridan. And I think Shirley was looked at as a victim once upon a time. Excuse me, as we don't know what she's got going on. And then she got into the victim column. My guess is that it was Gail or Melanie calling Shirley. Gail and Melanie are both in Atlanta, and Shirley has been living in Atlanta, not California for a long time, so I don't know who old girl in California would be. Gail knew that Nesto was married and who he was married to. Sonia was has said on the calls that someone was going on Shirley's page and telling that your husband is cheating, etc. But there were other people too. Melanie could have been old girl because Lamont knew who she was because of the whole car debacle and was pretending to be a lawyer for Jones, Jones and Jones. Okay. How would he know? How would he know that Melody Scretchen called Shirley? I don't see Shirley telling Lamont that. And Melody Scretchen isn't talking to Lamont. She put him on a police report. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, it's a theory. Like we got all these all written down. So this is interesting, right? It's stuff to think about. We don't have to debunk anything today. That's not the job. We're just everyone's giving their opinion. So interesting. It's something to think about, right? Um the whole car debacle and then pretending to be a lawyer, Jones and Jones. Maybe Melanie called Shirley and told her all about the affair. At first, I thought it's Sonia who called Shirley because she was a bold side piece and seemed to be making all the calls for Nesto. What would stop her from calling Shirley and rambling on about her and about everything? Sonia could have pretended to be anyone and told Shirley anything, and Lamont would know about that because Lamont talks to Shirley and Sonia. Girl, that's interesting. But why would Shirley be someone in California? She's in Georgia. He would have said, "Oh, girl." He would have. I feel like Lamont would have said, "Your old lady," something like that. But interesting. Keonce. Okay. Keonce said, "This is Shirley because they referred to her as Hollywood before. The only person worth spilling anything to in this situation is Shirley. Everyone knew what was going on before she did. The teacher and the real estate lady, they had to stop, they had to drop on Nesto before Shirley did, unless they have an unknown tie to California. Either way, I think it's definitely a victim of his. Well, keep in mind, we're thinking narrow too, because we've bubbled up certain names. And those are the names that have been in the frequent rotation, but there's more people, there's more victims, right? So, um, are there some victims in California? Probably. Probably. And it might be worth I'll go look at the Rico and see who's in California just for shits and giggles, and we'll bubble it up and talk about it tomorrow or something. I don't want to look for it now. Hey Siri said, "Do you recall if Shirley stopped communicating with Nesto around this time?" I asked because it would make sense that it was her if so. Um We have to go back and see the date on that we just looked at that, but it's possible because it might have been around that time period of the bond hearing type stuff. I don't remember. I know it was in the last 2 weeks. Um, August lady, was that August ladies? Okay, so it was Kiance. And then, hey Siri, August lady jumps in and says, "Hey, yay, she was done with him by May of 23, but their last calls um were in didn't Shay tell us the other day their last call was like sometime in June where it was done. He had still been trying to text her, call her, but she wasn't responding, and that's when that Shirley Dunn phone call happened in June or July. Boom. Okay. Analytical one. Look at y'all answering each other. You guys are just make me just This we have such a beautiful community. The call where Nesto gave Shirley the ultimatum took place on June 15th, 2023. She wasn't answering his calls, and Dre had to do a three-way. Okay. Maybe it does have something to do with dropping the dime on Nesto. The Nesto been passing that his dangalang, you know. He was out here doing what married men should not. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. I mean, you guys are right. I like your theory, bougie. Okay. Of old girl being Erica. Okay. Because sometimes I'm just talking. I didn't even remember what my theory was. I'm gonna be honest. Because who else would know everything? Okay. Sometimes I think about it being Dominique. That would make the most sense, Erica and Dominique, because they know a lot. Now, Miss Jones knows a lot too, right? But I'm thinking Dominique is one of the unnamed co conspirators. So she may not be calling people because people things if the state is onto her. The real mystery is who is old girl in California, because why is it important that Lamont needed to inform Nesto about it? Is the California girl a new mark that they were working on, and Erica slash Dominique told them everything, as in don't mess with them because he's in jail and getting caught up? Is the California girl a new Erica or a new handy girl? Girl, very detailed. Okay, girl, detailed. Detail do tell. Okay. Very good. Um, our Aries way, Aries saves, is it Aries saved my life? I have only heard of two people in California, Shirley and someone Dre called. You talking about the other Dominique, Dominique, the prayer partner? Do you guys want, I don't look, in members, we do those prayer partners. I've got the prayer partner videos. I don't know if you guys have been watching them elsewhere, but I might just upload them for you guys in members and put them on Patreon and be done with it. We might talk about one or two, have a kiki, but you know, prayer partner. If you want the prayer partners, just put some prayer hands in the comments. Put up some prayers and I'll post it, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. Because there's so many other things to talk about, right? I've only heard of two people in California, Shirley and someone Dre mentioned on a call. Dominique might be the other person. So there's two Dominiques. There might even be three, but there's a Dominique who prays for Nesto. But I think Dominique was the one who called Shirley. Now, who could have called Shirley named Dominique would have been Dominique, the old assistant, but we don't really know that. Alasia Alexander. Right, but why would Lamont describe Shirley as old girl? I'm with you on that because I don't see Lamont calling Shirley old girl because he doesn't really refer to her like that. But and you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I don't know. Um, Maybe it's they still see her as a girl, and look who said it. He rarely speaks about women in a positive way. It's usually belittling, like, hey, bitch, type of stuff. He's the type of guy that calls women bitches, right? Um, yes, them calling any grown woman a girl isn't surprising to me. I meant referring to her as the someone in California. Shirley isn't in California. Okay, August lady standing on business because that doesn't really, Shirley being the one in California doesn't make sense because she left California, right? But you guys, when I read y'all's comments and I put a heart, just know I read it. You know what I mean? I don't always have to agree or anything like that. It's just, I want you to know. And that's any comment. If I put a heart, it doesn't have a heart by it yet, I haven't read it yet. But sometimes I fall way behind on comments, but just know I've read it. I purposely don't heart stuff until I read it because I do try to read everybody's comments. Sometimes I'm just sitting there for a couple hours going through comments. You know what I'm saying? So just to kind of get through and try to clear them and read everything y'all had to say. So when you get like a comment back from me and it was like, well, I commented that like 6 months ago and I just read it. My bad. You know what I mean? Like things blew up that week and you know what I mean? Then it got pressed down. So it's acknowledgement. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. You guys are amazing. Okay, what next? Does anyone have any questions? Let me drop this, see if anybody wants to call in. Um uh woohoo. Shouts out to our friends on Facebook. Shouts out to Facebook, all of our friends. If you're on Facebook, don't be lonely. You can call. Make sure, the call in is for anybody and everybody. Just make sure whatever app you're in, just close out the app so we don't get double, like it causes interference. Do, 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 do. Will anyone call at lunch today? Does anyone have a question? Hit the link. We will talk to you right now. Yay! Has everybody hit the like button? Is anybody new here? Have you not subscribed to this channel? Have you not set your notifications to all so you can always be notified every time I go live and post another video? Some of you guys seem to really love the deep dives. I have a list of things to talk about. Oh, let me tell you guys something. Let me get up off of this real quick. Let me find a visual so you guys know who I'm talking about. I guess I should have done that earlier too. So you guys would have known. If you didn't know who like Deandre Booker was, you don't know who Afeni Muhammad is, any of those. Okay. Let me find. Do you guys remember the little boy who got kidnapped in Ohio? The little boy, Jamal White, Baby J, and it was a group of weirdos trying to rob his drug dealer mother. Do you guys remember Siobhan White? Okay. Do you guys remember? It was Jamal White, whose dad is a twin. There was like Jamal and Jamil. Jamil went crazy and started busting his gun in the air like, who took my nephew? He's got something go. He has his own case, but it has nothing to do with the robbery case. Then they tried to kidnap Baby J, and it went left. Let me see if I can find the video so you guys can know who I'm talking about. Some of you guys, as soon as you see the picture, you'll be like, oh my God, I remember that. Y'all, let me find. Guess who's getting charged as an adult? Hold on. Let's see. Is this? Hold on. I'm going to play this for you guys. So any of you guys who are not familiar with this story, hold on. Let's see. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Real Talk Bougie. Okay, a couple of you guys had some questions in the comments. I put up a Okay, real quick. This is Corey Williams. It's coincidental this girl has the same last name. They are not related at all. Corey Williams, that is the uncle of the little boy right here, Baby J. Baby J got kidnapped by 3 dummies, okay? 2 adults and a child, a 14-year-old, okay? I may have even pulled up the wrong video. Hold on, let me see. Girl, this one's about Jamal. You're back. Hold on. Let me go back and find the video that's about the charges against the uncle. The uncle, I think, was having like a panic attack when the little boy got kidnapped, and if my nephew got kidnapped in front of me, I'd be having a damn panic attack too. You know what I mean? So I get it. But, girls, a bunch of dummies. Anywho, the boy is so lucky to be alive with this, let me just stop right there. Anywho, Mom allegedly was a drug dealer, okay? And 3 dummies decided they were going to rob her, okay? So they went to the lady's house. Guess what? She wasn't home. So I guess because they had already been following her and casing her, they thought it was a good idea to go to her baby daddy's house. Okay. They went to her baby daddy's house and there's the little boy riding his bike with his daddy. Okay. Riding his bike. These clowns walk up and kidnap the little boy at gunpoint. And okay, you're still not going to see everybody, but it's okay. So this right here, that's daddy, that's mama, that's one of the kidnappers, that's one of the twins. These 2 guys on flanked on the edges, those are twins. Let's see if this more aligns with. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Good morning. The reason why I'm telling you this is because the case is progressing. I feel like, based on what I read, this was last week, but I need to go and just update myself one more time. It looks like one person might be getting a plea to spill all the beans, which is homeboy right here. Okay. Christopher, or whatever his name is, Williams, dummy. He drove the car. Fabian, the other dude, he's not pictured here, and the boy, Barry Coleman. Barry Coleman was in juvenile court. They upgraded him. I think he just turned 15. Baby, they are charging him as an adult. Okay. Kidnapping. He has like a 200. No, is it 200? Girl, I think he has a $250,000 bond. A little boy, 15 years old, but he's bad. Okay. He's been engaging in bad activities. Not look, whatever. I don't know the young boy, but he's been in a lot of trouble, so much trouble that juvenile court has cleared him to be now charged as an adult in the kidnapping of this cute little baby right here, because they thought mom had deep pockets because they said she is a known drug dealer. Okay. What's the update? Number 1, the little boy who was 14 is now 15. He's getting charged as an adult. Number 2, it looks like homeboy is set up for sentencing in January, because I'm thinking he's getting ready to take a plea deal and he's coming in on a proffer. Fabian is set for trial coming up. He's still in pre-trial, but I think it's going to trial in like February or something. And the boy Barry is getting a charge like he is an adult. Okay. Now, what's going on with mom? Mom is still in jail. Why is mom still in jail? Well, because they called her a known drug dealer about 11 times on the news when the little boy got kidnapped. Also, the police said that the kidnapper said they called her like 50 times and she didn't answer the phone. And when they called her and talked to her the one time, she said she was going to come right over and never showed up. So they cleared her of charges, but guess what? She was still on probation for child neglect. So she's been sitting in jail all this time. She doesn't have any new charges, but she is sitting on a probation violation. And I don't know if they're going to send her to prison or what. Or they're going to just let her finish out her time in the county. I'm not really sure. Girl, they are very slow. Very slow. If I have a bunch of stuff put together, I had a couple of, girl, last 2 days I hadn't been feeling up to par. So I've been meaning to put together like a little, like a little 20-minute video, get you guys all the way up to date. But that's the high level. There's someone who's got the new Barry Coleman has new charges. And I had to send a request to Milwaukee so I could get his, thank you, so I could get his police report now that he's being charged as an adult. Um uncle over here to the right, this one, he he's got his own separate thing, because what happened was when the little boy got kidnapped, daddy and uncle started going crazy. Uncle ran out the house with a gun and started shooting, busting his gun off in the middle of the street. And they're holding him accountable because he could have killed somebody. There were children outside helping look for baby Jay, and that was very irresponsible of him to start busting his gun just because someone rang the doorbell. People were trying, they had search parties out looking for baby Jay, and he was acting a fool. So he was in jail for a minute, but I think they're pleading. They're working with him. He's going through the paces, but I think he's learning a lesson to never do that again. And like I said, mom is still in jail. This guy is, I think he's coming in on a proffer. He was the driver. The dude, Fabian, has like, he's got a high bond too. And the little boy has a high bond. But I'll get all the details. This was just I just happened to think about it. If you hadn't heard this story, I mean, I can play this real quick so you guys can get the gist. I think in this I read the police report. So let's get into it real quick so you guys can know exactly what happened. Okay. It's crazy. If you didn't hear about this story over the, like, where were you? Because this was crazy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's early. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Let's get in. It says it shows. Let's skip the pleasantries. I probably wanted to just read it outright because I knew if I tried to read it live, baby, it would be problems. Charged with how we do it takes us forever. It says it shows 6 charges, so I'm not sure what he's getting. Right now, this states kidnapping, taking hostages as a party to a crime, intent contribute to the delinquency of a child. That probably has more to do with the his co-conspirator or co-defendant. But it's just showing 3 charges, but it's looking like 6 on his jacket, but it still says charges pending. So it hadn't uploaded yet, but I'm sure that'll be changing. Okay, so this is the criminal complaint. Below named complainant being duly sworn on information and belief upon conviction of this offense, Class B felony, delinquency of a child such that the child's fined not to more than $10,000 and imprisoned to 6 years. Now, this is the interesting thing. If Williams waited in the car and the other 2 jumped out, that means that the 14-year-old and the 38-year-old, I'm going to assume the 38-year-old is the one who grabbed the 7-year-old baby Jay, and the 14-year-old ran after baby Jay's dad. That's just my assumption, but let's read on and see what happens. Okay. The complaint is a police officer with City of Milwaukee and bases the following complaint upon the report from the Milwaukee Police Department. PO Xavier Rodriguez and reports that he spoke with JWSR. JWSR states that JWSR is Jamal White Sr. Okay. On Friday, July 11th, 2025. So, maybe that's Jamal White Sr. Okay. Jamal White Sr. stated that on Friday, July 11th at Eustis Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a white Jeep drove up in front of the residence. So basically, they were coming from a park. The dad was coming from a park. He was driving alongside his son. His son was riding his bike home, and dad was driving in the car while the boy was enjoying his little bike ride. Okay. And out of the blue, here comes the renegade, catching them off guard. So that's probably what this is going to say. Okay. A white Jeep drove up in front of his residence while his son, JDW, rode his bike out front. JWSR stated that he saw black males jump out the Jeep with guns in their hands, and then he ran inside the residence. JWSR stated the black males grabbed JDW without consent and put him in the white Jeep and fled eastbound. Detective Nicholas Wazak reports that he spoke to DRD, who stated that his surveillance video may have recorded the incident. The recording shows that at 7:12, JDW is riding his bike while the white Jeep turns and blocks the driveway of a residence on Eustis Street in Milwaukee. Two individuals get out of the Jeep. One of the individuals chases JWSR and runs into the home, and then the other individuals chase JDW and carries him back to the Jeep. The Jeep then flees after both suspects get in the Jeep. P.O. Matthew Link reports that he went to address on 39th Street in the county of Milwaukee, Wisconsin on July 12th. Officers located JDW within an upper unit. The above named defendant was located hiding in the attic of the duplex. Officers observed a pill which tested positive for methamphetamine in the defendant's pocket. Detective Rubio reports that she conducted a forensic interview with JDW on July 13th. JDW stated that when he was at his dad's house, a man chased him, grabbed him by the back of his shirt, and took him. JDW stated that he was in a car with three unknown men, and they drove to the house where the police found him. When they got to the house, he went inside with the man who drove the car. JDW stated that he heard the man talking to his mom, SW, that's Siobhan, and heard his mom say that she was going to pick him up and that she was going to come and pick him up, but never came. At this point, JDW teared up during the interview because his mom did not pick him up. Girl, Detective Rubio conducted a photo array with JDW. JDW identified the above named defendant as the person who drove the Jeep when he was taken. Detective Matthew Bugman reports that he conducted a Mirandized interview with the defendant. In the interview, the defendant stated that about 2 weeks prior, BC contacted the defendant. So BC is Barry Coleman. That's the young boy who's now being charged as an adult. That's Barry Coleman. Might be the 14-year-old because it says 2010. Okay. BC contacted the defendant with the intention to rob the mother of JDW. SW, so Siobhan. So the mother of baby J, Siobhan Williams. Okay. The defendant claimed that SW is a well-known drug dealer and flaunted money, and that he had seen her with bricks of drugs during FaceTime calls between BC and SW. So if anybody wanted to know why Siobhan is still in jail, baby, that's why she's on a probation violation. I don't know. They must have, I'm thinking they went to her house. This is me making stuff up because I'm trying to get some sort of police report. I've left a couple of messages with her probation officer. Like, girl, y'all have no idea. I'm trying to find out like what happened. Okay. Because I'm thinking when they arrested her, they had to have gone to her house and maybe found drugs. I don't know. It had to be some sort. Maybe initially they took her for not being cooperative and like, your boy got kidnapped. Why are you not running over there? Why did you not call us? Why are you not being cooperative? What is really going on here? But then it goes on that these three felons who kidnapped your boy did it because they say you flaunt your money, sis, and you are a well-known drug dealer. What's really going on? Okay. What? He had seen her with bricks of drugs during FaceTime calls between BC and SW. The defendant stated that BC called him July 11th to try to rob SW that day. The defendant stated that he left work early that day, borrowed his girlfriend KA's white Jeep Renegade, and picked up BC. The defendant stated that they removed the license plate from the Jeep and that BC and another individual under investigation at this time both bought guns to commit the robbery. The plan was to go to SW's residence and rob her at gunpoint. The defendant stated that they left his house around 5 p.m. that day and drove to SW's residence. The defendant stated that he was the driver of the Jeep, BC was in the rear passenger, and the other individual was in the front passenger seat. Both BC and the other individual were wearing masks. The defendant stated that when they got to SW's residence, they waited for her but never saw SW. BC then suggested they rob JWSR, Jamal White Sr., SW's child's father, instead. Friday, July 11th, on Eustis Street in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they drove in the Jeep to that residence and saw JDW and his father, JWSR, in front of the residence. JDW, Baby J, was riding a bike at the time. BC and the other individual exited the Jeep with handguns and ran at JWSR. Daddy. JWSR ran into the house and BC grabbed JDW. So BC must be a big 14-year-old and grabbed the 7-year-old. BC took JDW into the Jeep, and then the defendant drove away with all four individuals at a high rate of speed. The defendant stated that while driving away, he got into an argument with BC and the other individual for taking JDW. The defendant stated that the plan then changed and the other individual contacted SW later that night and demanded $100,000 in jewelry in exchange for JDW, and they were going to meet at a nearby park. The defendant asked that he was originally promised $10,000 for his part, but demanded more after JDW was taken. The defendant stated that SW never showed for the meeting, and once they became aware of the Amber Alert for JDW, BC and the other individual left JDW and the defendant at the defendant's residence. The defendant stated that there were conversations of whether the other individual or BC should harm Baby J to show they were serious, but that was not acted upon. The defendant finally stated that when police arrived to the residence, he hid in the attic and left JDW in a bedroom. Detective Margaret DeVito reports that she reviewed the phone call records of the defendant. The records show that he made nearly 40 star 67 calls to the mother of JDW between 7:33 on July 11th and 2:39 a.m. Detective DeVito also observed phone calls between the defendant and other suspected individuals not named. I wonder if I had, let's see. Oh, I must have gone out or something. I'm like, why? Property at BC stated that BC had any property. AAM stated that if BC had any property in the residence, it would be in the basement where the firearm was found. Oh, AAM. This is when they went to the house. So Stephen Caldwell reports that BC was arrested and they conducted a search of the residence. BC on July 15th, 2025. Officers recovered a black handgun in the couch cushion in the basement. Police officer Blake Luffenberg reports that while waiting for the search warrant to be executed on the residence, he spoke with AAM. AAM is BC's mom. AAM stated that BC had, if he had any property in the residence, it would be in the basement where the firearm was found. Okay, so they said if there's anything here, it's in the basement, and that's where they found the gun. Detective Colwell also reviewed recorded phone calls where BC spoke to other individuals about his plan to rob SW that he had with the defendant, and that he also talked about the kidnapping between July 10th and July 15th. Notice of intent to introduce forensic interview at the trial. Pursuant to Wisconsin statutes, the state of Wisconsin, by Assistant District Attorney Kenneth Olstinski, hereby advises the court that the defendant that it will offer into evidence at trial video recorded statements of JDW, who is presently 7 years old. The video recorded statements of the child was conducted July 13th. The statement was taken at Child Protection Center. The video camera operator was Elizabeth Rubio. Okay, so you guys remember Baby J was at CPS for a little minute, right? Because look, you got the kidnapping that happened. You got the kidnappers calling the mother a known drug dealer. You got the father running into the house and not scooping up his son. That's a whole nother conversation. You got the uncle acting a fool when the search party people came to come and help, busting his gun in front of the house, endangering innocent people who were just in the neighborhood trying to help find the baby, right? So they had little Jamal over there at CPS for a few days because I think they had to figure out like who's the responsible adult here, who can we leave him with. They arrested the mother. Like it was a complete mess. So this has been going on for a minute, and I've been keeping my eye on this because this story was a fool, and things are kind of starting to happen now. So I just wanted to refresh y'all's memory. This case is a doozy, and it's one of those like they better broadcast it because I need to see how this all unfolds because this was so messy. This was so messy. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'm so like we didn't get all the way caught up. There's so many other stories to talk about, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and I feel like we made some progress. If there's something you want to talk about, if there's a story that we have not followed back up on in a minute, let me know. There's a lot, and some cases are just dragging, but if you need me to like follow up on something just to say, hey, I looked at the docket and there's nothing going on yet, just drop the names down there because we've talked about lots of cases. And if I'm not talking about them like on a regular, it's because nothing's really going on or we don't have anything really to report. There's no tea, there's no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's all. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a good afternoon. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of catch up and comments, all of the things. So let me know if there's something else you want to talk about. If you have questions about anything that we talked about, let me know and we'll get into it the next time we go live. Okay. I guess that's it. I don't know if there ends up being a video out tonight. I might go live tonight, but or we might do a little catch up video, like maybe one or something, like a little one and done of the ultimatum or something. You guys let me know which one you want to do. So, all right, you guys, love you, mean it. Okay. The crash out uncle girl, a mess. If you go into my playlist, the videos are there. I did a playlist on that because I already knew I was dedicated. This was I already knew this was gonna be a story I'm gonna be until like girl, guess who just went to prison? Or the sentencing is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I already knew this is a story we're following from gavel to gavel. Okay. It just this is like a movie. Okay. So anyway, all right, guys, I love you guys. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me. I will see you guys a little bit later. And I guess that's it. That's all right. If I missed any of your comments, just message me down below, or you guys know where to get at me. Hi, Beyonce. Hey, every girl holding Bazzano down. Did you see we covered your comment? If you put a answer to the old girl called old girl and told her everything, if you post it up and you're just coming in, make sure to go check it out because I read your comment. Okay. Anywho, I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you guys a little bit later on. Bye, guys.
Reveal me!